Welcome back to Check This Book Out podcast, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Madeline Bookout, bibliophile since second grade.
And I'm Hannah Bookout, OG Kindle user.
Oh,
And
that's a good
we
one.
are the Bookout sisters. And this is our podcast, Check This Book Out, where we talk fantasy and romance novels.
Today we are going back into the past.
Yes.
Very far back. Hannah and I have been book lovers since probably we could read. It's literally in our last name. We were destined to be readers, so we thought we would take you through our reading journeys, like where we started
to where we are
to
now.
where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I wish I knew like the number of books I've read. Like
Truly
ever.
read.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling you this, but whenever I go and look at my Goodreads and look at like the number of books read and it says like 300, I'm like, wow, I've accomplished nothing in life.
I know, right? But think about it, like that probably we both read what 50 books last year ish. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's many years of books.
Yeah.
Because that was mostly both read. Last year was that the most you read in a year last year?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so
Yeah. I know, and then I think how long I've been reading.
yeah.
And I know that there are some books that I haven't put on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, what if I went back and tried to remember all the books that I haven't documented in my Goodreads, but I know that I've read, and then people would see me be putting like all of these weird ass books like marked as read in like this long stream of
I've done that.
feed.
I've done that.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be a lot of books. Like
I like seeing everything I've read though.
yeah, me too. I guess I just shouldn't care.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Fuck
It's
'em,
your
dog.
Goodreads. Yeah. It's like again, I always say Goodreads is my diary.
It
Like
is
I want to know
your book
everything.
diary.
Yeah.
It would take me a while to go back and find all the ones that are missing, but I should do it. That'd be fun.
I started with like my Kindle and I went to like Amazon.com and like looked at all the books I've bought before.
Yeah.
And
That's smart.
yeah.
That's smart. Madison used to have a Nook, and so we would read some books on her Nook app, and then we would read some of my Kindle app. So I wonder if I can go find the login for her Nook and get the books from there, because I don't remember those. But
my friends and I did that too.
yeah,
we would share our login information so we could read the same books.
Yeah, so that we wouldn't have to like spend the money.
Yeah, exactly.
we were in middle school. We couldn't afford a ton of ebooks.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah.
let's get into it because
Yeah.
I feel like all the nostalgia will have us yapping.
Yeah,
I think.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, grab your water or whatever it is that you're drinking, your drink of choice today, and your Goodreads, and maybe a book from every phase of your life.
Yeah.
And let's check this book out.
Let's.
Okay. Do we want to? Let's start with I don't know what you necessarily call like pre-elementary school, but we could say books growing up.
Yes, we could.
I personally had to ask Mom for help for this one because I was trying to think of books that she like read to me before I could read.
Yeah. It was a hard one. I saw like your answers for this one and you stole like two that I would have used.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and start and I'll chime in.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling up my notes. Okay. I have in here Rainbow Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. That book is still good.
Yeah.
It still delivers.
Yeah.
And then I also have Boom Chicka Boom Boom.
Yeah. Little coconuts.
Yeah.
A palm tree on the cover. I remember that vividly.
Do you also remember Brown Bear, what do you see?
In the caterpillar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom said that I really liked the polar bear one. Polar bear. And I didn't even know that there were like different bear ones, but
yeah.
So
well, they were like different animals.
And then Goodnight Moon.
Goodnight Moon. Yeah.
Such a classic.
Yeah.
Such a classic.
I remember when was that in like high school or college when people would say that like "Good night, moon." It like became a like a slang.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like came back around. It was funny.
I don't remember
That
that.
just like totally that just
Pulled you back?
yeah. Well, no, I just remembered that that was a thing. Like you saying "Good
Mhm.
night, moon."
What about you?
Mine that mom helped me remember was Angelina Ballerina,
Yeah, when she said that, I was like,
the
"Whoa."
little mouse, and
Yes.
we had the
We had the
toys too.
toys,
We
yeah.
had the
Little
little
stuffed animal.
yeah, the little mouse with her tutu.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You
and
were obsessed with that.
yeah, I mean, we literally had the toys, and we had the movie, or was it a show? I think it was a movie.
I think it was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember that one. That one was good.
I didn't personally remember this, but mom said that I really liked the, like, Dragon Tale books.
There were Dragon Tale books?
Yes, that's
I
what I
was thinking
said.
about Dragon Tales the other day.
Dragon Tales walked so that Fourth Wing could run, bro.
Yeah?
It paved the way.
You know what else I was thinking of? This is like kind of the same, but like that movie Land Before Time.
Yeah, oh my
Because I
gosh.
we were cleaning out the shed today, and there were like a bunch of like spiders and stuff or whatever,
Ew,
and I was like,
creepy
creepy
crawlies.
crawlies. Yeah.
I freaking love those movies.
Yeah, they
They
were
were
really
so good.
good.
Littlefoot,
Littlefoot.
oh,
Oh,
and Petrie, is that what his name was? The
yes,
pterodactyl?
yes.
Yeah.
What was the little Triceratops' name? I can't remember.
Sarah?
That sounds right.
Maybe,
That's so basic though. Sarah.
yeah. I think
Sorry
it
to
was,
Sarahs out there.
I'm sorry to all the Sarahs. Yeah, no, I freaking love I would go watch those as an adult.
Yeah,
In the same
same.
way that I would watch Backyardigans, like, literally
Yeah.
right this second.
Or like
Say it. Say it.
Wow Wow Wubsy.
You would go watch Wow Wow Wubsy right
The
now?
nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Or what was it? Octonauts. I loved Octonauts. I watched that with Logan.
Mhm.
Or okay, I have a just I know these are shows now
Wonder
that we're getting
Pets,
into.
Wonder Pets.
Yeah. Ming. Ming.
Wonder Pets, we're on our way.
Love a saving animal
Gonna
and
save
save
the
the
day.
day.
We're not
Not
too
too
big
big
and
and
we're
we're
not
not
too
too
tough,
tough,
but
but
when
when
we
we
work
work
together,
together,
we've
we've
got
got
the
the
right
right
stuff.
stuff.
Go
Go
Wonder
Wonder
Pets!
Pets!
Yay!
Yay! It was Linny,
Tuck
Tuck,
and
and
Ming
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 too.
too. That was a good one. Yeah. Let's
Little
let's move on.
Einsteins. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying like we're getting into shows now,
Yeah,
which I
we
could
are.
talk about forever.
No, I could. Oh my gosh, wait, before we move on, Curious George. The Curious
Yes.
George books,
All of
they
them.
were so good.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Curious
Yeah.
George and monkeys. I
Yes.
I had a monkey phase, and I blame that, not blame it, but partly I can remember
Justice.
this Justice and Limited 2.
Yeah.
Me with my little monkey Limited 2 t-shirt and my brown gauchos and my clogs. That was like a phase for me.
Yeah.
But when I had eye surgery when I was 6, mom got me like a Curious George stuffed animal.
Aw, and it's in your room still here.
Mhm.
Aw,
Yeah,
it's cute.
I know. Anyways, miss those days, not really, but because I actually don't really remember them,
Yeah.
but the nostalgia is there. I feel like a lot of the books that I think of, growing up books, it's the stuff that we read to Logan. Like, that's the stuff I
Yeah.
remember. Do you remember the dragon one? The Methinks I hear the sound of approaching beasts.
No.
You don't remember that one?
No.
Logan had this really cute, like, dragon book that I would read to him all
Methinks.
the time. Yeah.
Huh.
I bet mom and dad still have it actually. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Should I start off the next one? We can like
yeah.
alternate.
Elementary school.
Elementary. I feel like these are gonna be pretty popular. The Rainbow Magic Fairy books.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I totally forgot about
Yeah.
those.
This is where the whole Fae
It all
fan
started right
fan
here.
base started. The fairy magic books, Rainbow. I remember because every fairy was like there were like groups of them. There were like elemental ones, or there was like animal ones. Like you
Mhm.
remember? Yeah. Those were cute.
Those were really cute.
Every single time we went to like the library, like at school, we would go to the library, I think every Friday, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I would always get a new fairy book.
Every oh, from the library?
Yeah,
That's really cute.
yeah,
I was really bad about returning books.
really.
Mhm.
Dang, shame on you.
I feel like my whole entire adult life has just been wishing I could go back to scholastic book fairs,
Yeah,
you know? I
but for the
really miss those.
erasers,
Yes, that is what I was just about to ask you was what is your favorite
the
the
erasers,
erasers?
hands down.
Did you guys do that weird thing where you would like the eraser shavings? No.
No.
I don't know why we did that in elementary, but more like middle school. We would get the erasers that like smelled good and you would just erase them for the like because the
Smell?
smell. And then but you would keep the eraser shavings
Oh, where would you put them?
in like a little Altoid pin.
Did they still smell?
Yeah. I don't know
Oh,
why we did that.
that's very odd.
It
I did not do that.
it was really weird. I don't know why we did that.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
um, my other one was Magic Treehouse.
Yeah, those were bangers.
Yeah,
I probably read every single one,
yeah,
but I couldn't tell you what a single one was about right now if I tried.
yeah. Me neither.
But they were so good.
I still remember the picture in my head though.
Mhm.
I'm one of the I know every reader is kind of different, like how they picture books. Some see like stick figures, other people like see the whole like it's a movie. I see them like a
Me
movie.
too.
I can literally picture that book in my head, like what
Yeah.
I saw the treehouse as in like
Yeah.
the woods.
Yeah, like the setting.
Yeah, I think there was like one book where they had like they were on like a swing because I remember that right now for some
I'm
reason.
remembering one where they went into like medieval times and like there was a castle.
Yeah,
They did everything though.
they did. Yeah.
So, okay, my elementary school phase I wrote so the stuff that was out when I was in elementary school was like a little bit different. And I'm thinking probably later elementary school. Um I have Harry Potter. I
You
read
read that in mid
in elementary
elementary?
school. Yeah, I read them in like
First, second, third, fourth grade?
I read them in 4th grade.
Uh,
And Harry Potter. Dude, Harry Potter came out when I was in 2nd grade. And I
wow.
read them when they were coming out.
Wow.
That's so when I had to look up when some of the published dates were for these because it's like, wait, was that when I was in middle school or elementary school? And then I realized, yeah, I really was reading stuff like that
Mm,
really early on.
yeah.
Do you remember Charlotte's Web?
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just remembered that. Reading that in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You know what I remember from the second grade? Actually, it was the third grade. The Iditarod.
Oh my gosh.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, for sure.
No. Okay.
Like the Huskies?
Huskies.
Yeah. Wasn't there a book about that? Or was it a movie?
Mm,
Oh, it
I
was
don't know.
Snow Air Dog,
Airbud?
Airbud.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowbud.
Yeah, we watched the movie in
Yeah.
class.
Yeah. That was so fun. You remember how obsessed Riley was with that? It
Yeah.
was really cute.
Aw.
Anything that involves like tracking things, that's Riley's tism.
Like the Santa.
Yeah, Santa tracking. Wow, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Um, did you ever read the Camp Confidential series?
I literally have that on
You
here.
do?
Yeah, those
I
were
guess it might have
good.
been your middle school? No.
Probably like 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah, so still elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these I'm like, was that middle school or
I
elementary?
know.
I didn't look up publication dates or though anything like that.
Yeah. I remember reading those, and I think one of the main characters' name was Alex, and she played soccer, and was like, "I'm gonna be like her. I'm gonna go to this camp and meet a boy playing soccer."
Yeah,
But
those were good.
those were good. I really liked
They
those.
all wanted to be like CITs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were all way older than me when I was reading them,
yeah.
but I really liked those.
Hmm. Those were really good. I remember like the flip flop on the cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were good.
I think I can't remember if I read like The Click at
The
yeah.
Click.
I can't remember if I read those in middle school or in elementary school. Probably middle school, but
Probably like 4th or 5th,
yeah.
right?
Those were so good too.
Yeah, those were good. I can't remember what they were about though, but I can
They're
picture the
about
cover again.
they're about that girl who moves. I don't remember if it's like her no, I think it's that her mom works for like this really rich family. But as a part of working for the rich family, she like wants her daughter to go to this fancy private school.
Oh.
And that girl has like the daughter has another like the family that they're working for has a daughter that's the same age as the daughter of the mom who's working for them. And I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really know how to describe it. But she basically goes to this fancy public or private school and she's like not very wealthy and they're
Hmm.
all wearing like designer clothes and she's trying to keep up with the popular crowd and
Mhm.
being bullied and all these things.
Oh,
You don't remember that?
no.
There's a movie.
That's what I thought. I thought there was maybe like a show or movie. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't get that like totally wrong, but
Mm,
I feel like that's what it was about.
we should watch the movie.
We should watch
Mm.
us react to the movie.
Mm, that would be really funny.
I like that those books though,
Let me look back at my middle school list to see if there's anything
or your elementary school list. We're technically
yeah.
still in elementary, I guess.
No, this is right. Yeah.
This was like the era where I really started to get into like fantasy esque, you know,
Yeah.
personally,
I would say here,
or urban fantasy maybe.
I feel like I started Percy Jackson in 4th grade.
You probably did.
Yeah. That seems right. So it was kind of like the urban fantasy kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Percy Jackson is so good.
Yeah, how did I like forget to say that? I guess I had that under my middle school.
Yeah, because they were
I remember reading
the
in
second
8th
series
grade.
probably was coming out when you were in middle
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, I remember reading like probably like Mark of Athena or something like in class, like after a test.
Yeah,
Like I can picture it in
that's
my head.
vivid. Those
Yeah.
books were so
So, Mark of Athena was so good.
I read that series or like reread that series so much from like fourth grade to ninth grade.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes that's one of the reasons why I wasn't a very productive reader, is because I would just
Rereading.
reread Harry Potter and um, Percy Jackson and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
Did you ever watch the Disney show? I
No.
didn't either.
I don't have Disney Plus anymore.
Yeah. I want to watch it though. I just never did.
They they did a second season, right?
They did?
Like it was good?
I don't know. I literally don't even think that I heard of any reviews of it.
Hmm. Well, it's not really for our age range anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you set it? I think that's all I had for elementary school.
Did
Oh, wait,
you
actually I have one more. You probably didn't read these, but and it took me a really long time to find the name of them. The face on the milk carton. Have you ever heard of that?
oh,
So
sounds like a horror movie.
it kind of was. It was like a mystery thriller
Ooh.
that I read in elementary school, probably in like fourth or fifth grade. But it's about this girl who discovers that she was kidnapped because she sees her face on a milk carton. Like that's how they used to
Yeah, for missing
show missing
kids.
kids. And she's like looking at a picture of herself and then sees that it's her face
That's
when she
creepy.
was in high school, like or something. She's in high school and she's seeing that she is a missing child.
Wow.
Yeah. It was written in the 90s. I don't know why I was reading these.
Ah.
I think I just got bored or like found them. I don't know. I don't know why I started reading them,
Wow.
but I can vividly remember the story.
Yeah.
And she like gets this boyfriend and Her name is Janie. It's called like the Janie Johnson series or something like that. They were really good.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Mystery thriller.
I know. I'm making my way back to my roots.
That just reminds me, like you saying that reminded me of that creep. I like true crime and all. Like it's interesting to learn about. But do you know that one like story about like the boy in the box?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh! Like you saying the face on a milk carton made me think of that, and oh my gosh, that story freaks me out really bad. So now I'm kind of like
Is it
scared.
recent?
No, it's like old, like 90s or something.
But it's like true crime. It's actually
Yeah, it's like
happened.
actually like a real story.
You'll have to tell me about it.
Now I'm like spooked. I have to sleep with the lights on. No, like
Me when I
actually like
read Nocticadia for the first time.
yeah. I'm like picturing it. It's freaking me out.
Okay,
So I
let's
need to
move on.
chill.
Let's move on.
Uh,
Middle school.
you can start us off here.
Madeline enters her urban fantasy era with full
Yeah.
force. This is my fallen angels, vampire,
Yes.
werewolf, alien,
Yep.
magic academy,
Yep.
all of like I was so deep in that shit in middle school.
Uh-huh. Witches.
Witches.
That was a big one.
Yeah. Anything like magic set in a modern setting where girl finds out that she's magic, she has magic, or that she finds out that she's a fallen angel,
Yeah.
or meets a vampire, like that was middle school.
Yeah.
And I miss those days.
Me too. They don't write books like that
They
anymore.
do not write books like
They
that
just
anymore.
don't. They were all like high school students too.
Yes, all YA.
All YA.
It's just perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
Actually perfect.
Give us some examples.
Okay.
Let's go through these nostalgic reads.
So I have the Maximum Ride series.
I never fully read that, but
I don't think I ever finished them either.
Yeah.
Because by the time that he was finishing writing them, I was kind of growing out of them.
yeah.
But that was my first fallen angel like vibe. Not that they weren't fallen angels, they were mutants, but mutants. But I have that on here, and I don't think you ever read these, but Vampire Academy.
I never read them now.
Like I can picture myself reading them in class right now.
Really?
Yeah. And I think that bled a little bit into high school. Shadow Falls.
Shadow Falls. We talked about
We've
this on a
talked-
random episode
yeah.
before, but yeah.
I want to reread those.
Chameleon.
Chameleon.
I would love to reread those too.
They were really good.
They were. I love like a camp or like academy setting in a book.
Yeah. Camp
It
setting
just
is fun.
hits.
I don't think I've seen that outside of Camp Confidential and
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? I don't think I read a lot of camp books.
I have like I can yeah, like Camp Confidential.
I think those might be the only two.
I feel like there's more. Maybe I'm thinking like of stuff like Parent Trap or something, but like
Yeah.
it's a setting I like to read in.
Me too. Me too. What about you? Middle school phase?
Middle school, my biggest phase was entering Wattpad. This is when I got sucked into the rabbit hole of everything Wattpad, and I was reading things I should not be reading. Like a
little bit
a little
above
sus.
a little bit old for you.
I did not have parental supervision on there. So, yeah, I didn't have to have the birds and the bees talk to mom and dad because I already knew. So I can like think of some books that I read on there. So much of what I read in middle school was like vampire, werewolf.
Same.
There were so many like alpha books, like alpha and like the alpha male and like finds his mate.
Oh my gosh. Those are so good.
So good.
They're still so good.
That's the original like mate trope. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like werewolves. Like that's where
That's where
forget
it came
fae.
from. Yeah.
Forget the fae. No, it's werewolves. That's where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I ate it up.
Yeah, they're in high school and they're in class, and all of a sudden he goes,
Yeah. Picture Edward. Oh, she stinks.
That's one that I have on here is Twilight. I absolutely was a Twilight fiend
Yeah, I
in middle
never read
school.
them. I remember mom got mad at you because she didn't want you to read them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, Madison's reading them.
Yeah.
That was my response to literally every parenting decision mom and dad tried to throw at me.
And then Madison was allowed to.
Did I ever tell you about that series that I hid under my bed and Blanca
Mm,
found it?
no?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember what it was called. And I should have put it on here. They had they're like these little crescent moons all over, like, it's a vampire series, I'm pretty
Uh-huh.
sure. But I was reading them in literally like seventh or eighth grade, and I knew they were a little naughty, but I got them.
Naughty.
I got them from um, I got them from MIS library. So like, but
Yeah.
I knew that I probably shouldn't have been reading them, and I like hid them under my bed, and then the housekeeper came and cleaned and found it and like gave it to mom and dad, and I got in a lot of trouble.
Did she know they were bad or
I
something?
don't know.
I have a memory of getting in trouble too. We were at Papa's house, and on my Kindle, there was they were, I think in college, like they were both freshmen in college, but like the girl had been a victim of like sexual assault,
Mhm.
and like literally the part I was reading was describing that, and my mom and dad thought I was reading like sexual like books,
And you're like, "Well."
and like they told Papa, and I remember being so embarrassed, and they took my Kindle away.
That is awful. It
Yeah,
is crazy that I don't remember that. Yeah,
yeah.
for me, they, I guess, read part of the book, and it was a student and a teacher
Ah!
in a classroom,
Oh no.
but like of age. Not it
Yeah,
wasn't an underage situation.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the rabbit hole from like being in middle school to just accidentally like finding out what smut is just unavoidable. Like I feel like that's a very common thing that happens.
It just
It
is.
just is.
Okay, your turn.
Um, Hex Hall.
Those were so
Yeah.
good.
Witch and Academy.
Yeah.
Girl finds out she's a witch.
Yeah, and that's just a classic.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a like Reddit deep dive to try to remember some of the like books that I was reading.
Uh-huh.
I read that in high school, though, that series.
I feel
But
like I remember in 8th grade, like you probably gave it to
yeah,
me.
I think so. Like I think our timing is just gonna be like literally me 4 years reading it at the same time as you,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be younger, right?
Mhm.
Um, but somebody on like a Reddit thread, it was like YA paranormal romance books that were like YA urban fantasies that were published between 2010 and 2015. That's like literally what I looked up. um, and everybody was like Hex Hall. I was like, yes, that book is so
So
good.
good.
I can vividly remember the cover in my head right
Me
now.
too. The girl with the
Yeah,
like
plaid,
pond or
yeah,
whatever.
the plaid skirt and
Yeah.
the fire, like the blue fire or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a good book. Good series. I remember her like showing up to the school. Like
Mhm.
she was like in a taxi or something and dropped her off at the front door. Anyway.
Mhm.
This one you never read, but me and two of my friends in middle school all read it together, and we had no business reading it at all. 28 and a Half Wishes by Denise Grover, I think her
Didn't you
name
say
was.
that's like becoming a movie or something? Or
No,
oh,
no, I think they're kind of like niche. It was like a mystery book. It was like this girl moved to this very, very, very small town, but like she was 28 years old. Like I had no business reading books about 28-year-olds it, as a sixth grader or fifth
uh,
grader. And yeah, she meets her mom is like murdered in her house. Like she lives with her mom, and the mom's like really abusive, and the mom is murdered, and then she's like is trying to solve the murder, and then she gets like romantic with the cop, and he's like the
ooh,
one only cop in the town or something. His name was like Joe, and then like eventually they break up, and then she gets with the guy named Mason, who's the district attorney. I remember them so vividly. I've been like thinking that I want to reread them because it goes like every book is like 28 and a half wishes, 29 and a half, blah blah blah. And I remember it goes up to like 32 or
Oh my
33.
gosh.
And I read them all in like middle school with my friends.
Wait, this actually kind of sounds good.
No, it was good. But I did try to read one of her other series recently, and the writing was just not good. So I
Mm,
kind of am afraid that if I went back to
it
read,
would change your opinion of
yeah, like
them.
the writing would just be too bad.
Yeah,
But it would be very nostalgic.
might be worth it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll give one of them a try, the first one.
yeah. And there was like her friend's name was they were all so country. Like what was her name? Like Rosie Kate or something, or like I don't know.
Super small town.
Yeah, super small town.
That's really cute.
Anyway, my next two are probably all of these are probably your high school reads, so maybe we'll just go through
No,
them
you go ahead.
together.
I'll let you know.
Unearthly,
Yeah,
yeah. Angel books,
Angel books. You
yeah.
cannot freaking go wrong with Angel books.
Still think she ended up with the wrong guy, but
The Fallen books too.
yeah. Significance?
You're gonna think this is crazy. I just reread that this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
What do you mean?
Why didn't you tell me you were rereading them?
Oh, it's a comfort read for me. Like sometimes if I was telling Hannah I kind of fell into a book slump this week after I finished a book, and sometimes when I'm like in bed trying to fall asleep and I'm not reading anything at the moment, I literally will just reread that book.
Really?
Mhm. I could probably quote that book to you. I've read it so many times.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think I've read it 3
it's
times.
so good.
Oh my
Even as
gosh.
a 26-year-old, it is still so good.
Oh my gosh. I
Just
remember them at the stoplight when he saves
just
her.
remember them, and then,
Uh, what?
they, like, shake hands, and that's
Yeah.
when it happens.
Yeah.
It is such a unique, like, story or, like, magic plot. I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it.
What even is their magic?
They get abilities after they, like, find their soulmate,
Yeah.
like, after they ascend. So hers was reading minds, and his was, like, being able to use other people's abilities.
Ah.
But you everybody's was different,
Yeah.
but they're I don't know how to describe it.
That sounds like so good. Oh my gosh. Now I have to reread it.
You really like,
Oh,
it is so
yes.
wholesome.
Yeah.
It, like, makes you believe in love again.
I
I don't know.
remember, like, his big family,
Yeah.
and, like, he just, like he was trying to, like, teach her everything, but, like, he had to be careful.
It was yeah, they're so good. I have reread the first one a lot. As I said, it's a comfort read for me. I'll just, like, read it when I have nothing else to read or if I'm, like, trying to fall asleep. Um, so I haven't reread the full series probably in a while, but it's so good. It's so wholesome and cute,
Yeah.
and
I don't remember how it ends.
I do.
Well, don't tell me, because I would love to reread it. I don't know if you read these, but I Tell You I Love You, but then I'd have to kill you. This was like
Oh, is it the girl with the little plaid skirt on in the front?
the
Yeah.
spy books.
Yeah.
These, like, kids went to a private school, but they were teaching them how to be spies. It
I
was
don't think
really
I ever
good.
read them, but I know what you're talking about.
We have one of the books,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I don't think you ever read
I don't
them.
think I did.
I read them with, like a random person, and, like, Isabella, do you remember her?
Mhm.
I read them with her, which is funny in retrospect. Um, Sweet Evil.
Yeah. Sweet Evil was a high school book for me,
Yeah,
but
I
it's a part of
think
my urban fantasy, Fallen Angel. Those
yeah,
are so
era.
good. Oh my gosh, Kai.
I need more Fallen Angel books.
I know.
I need
Bring
angel
that
books.
back.
Bring it back. Somebody write something
Hunt
really
Athalar
good.
does not count.
Yeah, no, no.
He doesn't count.
I don't want modern day. I want like YA or NA angel books where they're
Yeah.
like in college or high school
No, literally.
and they find out that they're an angel or something
Yeah.
and like the guy has to teach the girl everything. I
Yes,
want
I want
that.
that.
I want that.
Can we get more of those, please?
No, literally.
Like, where have those been?
Yeah.
They don't write books like
They
that
don't. They
anymore.
just don't.
I haven't read Powerless, but Jamie was telling me that on the way back home, like to Texas from their honeymoon, that she saw this literal, like, 12-year-old reading Powerless on the plane,
Uh,
and I told her, I was like, "Technically, it is
it's
YA."
YA.
I don't know what it's about at all, but it's
I
technically
sorta do.
YA,
Yeah.
and I wonder if I read something like that, would I be like, "Oh, yeah, that's reminiscent of the YA books that I was reading," like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like, this is theirs.
yeah, it
Their
is,
angels is like fae.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I don't think that book is fae, but
You know what yeah,
yeah,
you get
you know
my
what I mean?
point,
Yeah.
but I freaking miss Sweet Evil.
Yeah.
I would reread that right now.
I wanna reread all of these right now. Here's another one, Beautiful Creatures.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Talking about like an academy book where like it's like fall time.
That's a
Madeline,
spooky
yeah, yeah. Madeline just showed me the trailer for Wednesday,
oh my
and it's
gosh.
releasing in August. You said,
Yeah,
but I'm like that. I'm gonna wait till October because that's so
I know.
October. You guys
We should
know,
watch it together.
yeah. I'm such a seasonal reader. Like
Yeah,
spring and summer is romance, and fall and winter is fantasy.
fantasy, it is.
And this book just reminds me of like being in
It really
school
does, yeah.
and like
It
the
feels so
witchy,
spooky.
spooky Halloween vibe.
That book in my mind, I think, like, just dark.
Dark, like
Fall, like, autumn, winter.
yes, and they lived
Didn't
in,
she
like,
live in,
that
like, a spooky house?
like, a mansion, like, a
Yeah.
dark mansion. Yeah,
I honestly won't lie, I don't remember the plot of those at all. I just remember how much I loved them.
yeah. I sorta kinda do, like, I don't there was, like, a lot of graveyards that she would go to, and I remember her power was, like, green or
Mm,
something, or she had green eyes. But there's a movie. We
mhm.
should watch the movie.
I think that that might be a series if I went back and reread it, I would not like it.
Really?
Mhm, I just feel that way.
I feel like I think I have reread it at one point, and it was my feelings haven't changed.
Okay.
No,
I was obsessed with that
me
series. I
too.
was, like, actually
Those were big
they
books.
were big books.
Yep. Middle school is also where I read We Were Liars.
I have that in mind too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the migraine thing.
Yeah.
Truly a book where I was so shocked by the ending.
Yeah.
Like, did not see that coming,
Never in a million
and never in a
years.
million years.
Never seen anything like it
Yeah,
before.
was so sad.
Yeah.
Sobbing,
Sobbing.
literally crying my eyes out.
Sobbing.
That was probably one
Changed
of the
forever.
most, like, emotional reads that I read in middle
Yeah.
school. I just didn't read books like that,
Yeah. I had
you know?
no idea what it was like about, like
Mm-mm,
truly.
mm-mm. But it was very like a
Summer
summery
romance.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that book was hard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
People started talking about it on social media within like the past, I want to say like 4 years. Like when Book Talk was rising, so was discourse about this book, and I'm like, I read that so long ago, but people were hating on it. They were like, that ending was so predictable, and like that ending was BS. Like saw it coming, or like the writing was awful. I'm like, that book changed my life.
I don't understand how you could think that that ending was predictable personally.
Me neither. I would have to reread it, but then I would know. You know what I mean?
That's actually a book that made me.
Yeah.
Like, that changed who I am as a person.
Yeah, and people
We're
reading it, what, 8 plus years after it was published probably are like,
at least.
yeah, I'm like, "They I didn't like it." I'm like, "You had to be there. If you didn't like it, you should have read it 8 years ago because everyone was everyone loved that book.
Yeah,
Not loved, maybe loved, like, was changed,
yeah.
impacted."
Everybody who was reading it was like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
Yeah. It was insane.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And I actually remember a decent amount of it,
Me too.
which is surprising.
Yeah. I remember how it starts. Like,
Mhm.
she's in, like, her parents' house, like, coming
Mhm.
back from somewhere. I have the mental picture again in my head of what her entry looked her house looked like.
I can literally remember the language that she used to talk about her headaches. She said that it felt like a witch was, like, stabbing her with a piece of ice. That's what she would call
Yes!
it. She was like, "The witch is back." Like
Oh my gosh, I do remember, like, the ice pick
yeah, the ice
thing.
pick thing. Yeah. Whoa. I mean, they I just never I it was so good.
Yeah, so good.
That book really did change me.
I've never read a book like it since.
Me too.
It was like a mystery, but like no, it was like a summer romance kind of book, but also thriller.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe how that like plot twist made it.
Yeah. I don't know, and maybe don't come after me, like, modern book that I could compare it to is Malibu Rising, and I know that you haven't read that,
Yeah,
but, like, the way that you kind of discover along with the protagonist, the way that you're, like, learning with them,
yeah.
that is kind of the same
Mm.
vibe as, Malibu Rising.
That just reminded me of another book that my dance teacher gave me as a recommendation. It was like a girl had just woken up from amnesia, and like you're learning with her.
Yeah, do you
I
remember
think
what it was called?
Wide Awake. I want to say
I don't
you
remember
probably never read it. 'Cause my dance teacher told me to read it.
that. Yeah, I also have in here, um, the Obsidian books.
Yup.
I mean, that's a classic. I've talked about Damon Black on here.
Yeah.
I love
Mhm.
aliens. We don't see a lot of alien books out there.
We don't, and if we do, I would never read them because what the fuck?
Yeah, same.
Ice Planet Barbarians or whatever the fuck. I'll never read that. I'm sorry.
I another one I have is the Princess Diaries books.
I don't think I ever
I
read
don't think you
those.
did, but I just remember like this one part when she has like sex for the first time. First of all, they are nothing like the movies.
Yeah.
Or like there's a lot more to them because there's several books, right? But it's literally the word sex in all caps for 6 pages. Like, because it's her diary. Like, she just like sex, 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 sex.
What?
Yeah, I vividly remember that. But I read those too. And the Meg Cabot Lightning Strikes. Did you read those?
I don't think so, but I remember it, like
Yeah.
the
The 1
title.
800 she's like struck by lightning and now she has powers.
No, I don't
That's what
remember
they're
that.
about. Yeah.
I just remember Meg Cabot.
Yeah.
Was that the other or that was the girl's
That's the
name?
author.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe she wrote something else. Die for Me?
Oh, they don't make books
They
like
do.
this anymore,
I know.
bro.
I will say, I hate to say it though, but like I reread them, I think in college, like
Uh-huh.
freshman year,
And they're
and
bad.
the writing was awful.
Yeah.
But in my memory, it's okay because
It's
I still
perfect.
loved it.
Yeah.
Italy, Fallen
I thought it was
Angel.
France.
Oh, it was France, Paris. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Paris. Should we like go to little coffee shops?
They were kind of zombies, huh?
Yeah, they were.
Like,
Bring back zombie books.
bring back zombie books in 2025. No,
That
those
was a
were
good
so
one.
good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Mhm. Yeah. Sorry I interrupted you there, but that was my
No,
last
no, no.
one.
That was a good one to bring up. That was a high school book for me.
Cause I'm in like my middle school, you're in your high school, so like we're kind of
Mhm.
together here. That's all I have for middle school though.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned I already mentioned Twilight, so I just read so many Fallen Angel and vampire books. Like
That
I
was
don't
like a
even
thing, yeah.
yeah. Vampire books were so good too. Like the Vampire Hunter vampire book, like she's raised in a family of vampire hunters. You didn't ever read one of those?
No,
No. I thought those were good.
never read those.
Okay. High school. You can start.
Oh, okay. Um, I was still in my Wattpad era, and also the app Radish. I don't think you would probably know that, but you had to pay for the chapters, and I was that bitch, unfortunately. Yeah, I did pay for the chapters. I remember driving in my carpool's car like sophomore year. And I would just like sit in silence and read these books while she drove me home. Which is like that's so lame of me in retrospect. Like she probably thought I was so
Oh, from
weird.
like Rangerettes or something?
Yeah. Um, but high school, everybody was acotar and Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
We were reading them as they were coming
As they were
out.
coming out.
Yep. and they were life-changing.
So the first Throne of Glass book actually came out when I was in middle school.
Really.
Yeah. So I didn't read the first Throne of Glass until I was in high school. And then as they were coming out, like I was reading them.
Mhm.
It's it's one of my like clout things, I think.
Yeah, that we were
That
there.
I was there.
I
I
was
was
there
there
at the
from the
beginning.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Throne of Glass was definitely a high school thing for me too.
Mhm.
I
I
don't
rem
think that I really got into acotar until um college, like late high school.
Mhm.
I think the first one came out my freshman year of college.
I remember reading Throne of Glass before I read ACOTAR.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
you would
yeah,
have, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause she didn't start writing ACOTAR until, like, the middle of the Throne of Glass series,
Mhm.
and I was telling you to read Throne of Glass, like, really early
Yeah.
on,
I read
so,
it probably freshman year of high school.
yeah. Yeah, I think I was a senior probably telling you you were, like, asking for book recommendations, and I was like, "Well, I think you're finally old enough to read this." Um, but yeah, it's
Life-changing.
so good. I think that for me, high school is when I, like, entered my true fantasy phase.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
not that I moved on from urban fantasy, I still read plenty of urban fantasy and paranormal romance in high school, but, like, that's when I really dipped my toe into into, into fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, no modern day references, like,
Mhm.
totally fantasy world,
Yeah.
all the world
Kind
building.
of archaic, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
medieval type,
Mhm.
um yeah, so that's I think that was Throne of Glass, and that's also when I read The Name of the Wind for the first time,
Mm.
and, like but that was, like, late high school, that was, like, my senior year.
It blows my mind that you were able to read Mistborn in, like, 5th grade.
Yeah,
Like, that blows my mind. I cannot imagine that.
yeah.
I'm struggling to read it.
I
Like,
think you just need to read the actual book and not listen to the
I
audiobook.
am reading the actual book.
Oh.
Yeah. 'Cause remember I said the audiobook was like
Oh, it was too much?
yeah. Like, they were saying names, I'm like, "How do you even spell that?" So I switched to the actual physical.
Mhm. I know, isn't that funny when you're reading a book and you're like, "How would you pronounce that?" And then you listen to the audiobook and you're like, "Wait, how do you spell that?"
Exactly, yeah.
I do that all the time when
Yeah.
I'm listening to audiobooks. But, yeah, I mean, it is a very, complex magic system.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that it just kinda takes you reading it for a long time for it to finally stick, you know?
Mhm.
But those books were so good.
So good. The last one I have for high school that, like, literally was life altering was a Wattpad read, but it's since been published. It the author started publishing them when I was in college, but I was reading them on Wattpad as she was writing them, and it was called Skin of the Night
Mm.
on Wattpad, but the published name is When the Night Falls, which I made you read.
You read that in high school?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, like, bro, like, I was introduced to smut way too early, and it only got heavier from there.
Yeah.
So in high school, like, I was reading R-rated things.
Criminal.
Yeah. But no, this book, the romance was just so good, and to me, it was the first, like, adult romance I read that was hello?
We're having another wasp
It
moment.
was like a bug or dust, I don't know. But it was like an adult romance, like, the smut was pretty heavy, but it was, like, adults in their adult life, like, grad school and, like, lawyers and, like
Mhm.
the book was very intellectual. I loved how she wrote it. Like, the characters were so deep and smart, and, like, you were so in their heads. So that was, like, my real awakening to, like, adult romance, I feel,
Mhm.
and comfort read. That is my comfort read. I've reread those books, I think a total of
There's
12
only Are there
times.
2 of them?
Um, her publishing thing is so weird. She came out with the 3 at first,
Mhm.
and then she took them down, and then she published just 2, and the ending was totally different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I remember, like, when she was publishing on Wattpad, at the very end of the Wattpad book, they were gonna be going to they were, like, on vacation and, like, on this island, That never happened in the published books.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, I've seen so many versions of
Yeah.
this same book, but I loved every
It's like reading an
version.
arc or whatever, but
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any like I didn't read Wattpad, so I don't
Okay.
have any stories like that,
Yeah.
but that's cool.
There were a lot of books I read on Wattpad and stuff that ended up being published.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of them was or, like, books I read when I was, like, younger that and, like, are now becoming movies and stuff, like My Life with the Walter Boys, The Summer I Turned Pretty, like, we read those as kids.
Yeah, I think The Summer I Turned Pretty I read really early.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, the cover is so different. Did I move it? Yeah, I guess I
oh,
put
it's
it.
over there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I liked those when I read them for sure, and they were
Mm,
kind of an intro for me to like romance
mhm.
at that age.
Yeah.
But I don't really, in my head, I don't remember them being that good. I remember liking them. They're not a book that I went and reread several times,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, or, like, changed your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they were okay.
Mhm.
I never watched the TV show though. Was it good?
Oh, yeah, really good.
It was really good.
I remember, like, when I saw that was coming out, I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like,
That's
this is
how
old.
random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with My Life with the Walter Boys. I never would have imagined that becoming a show
Mhm.
and it being really good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
Who did that one?
The author?
No, no,
Or
the what like who made the TV show?
Hulu,
Hulu?
I think,
Okay.
maybe? Amazon Prime? I don't
Mm.
remember.
Yeah. Um, looking at my other oh, I have in here you probably did never I've talked about these before, but the Relentless series that I've told
Mm,
you about by Karen Lynch. That's also a comfort read for me. Like I've reread those so many times. Um, I just think they're so good.
mhm.
But that was a like demon romance or demon urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Um,
Demon
demon
romance, bro.
romance. um, and then Flight. Did you ever read those?
Uh-uh.
I don't remember the author's name, but it was like based in New Orleans, and I just haven't read anything like that. Like she just graduated high school, and I was in high school, so I was like, that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
um, that was like a fun age to read YA
Mhm.
because you're finally that age, you know.
Mhm.
When I was in middle school, I was like, this is so far away from me, and then you're currently like 16, 17 years old wondering when you're gonna meet your fallen angel, and they're gonna tell you that your life has changed.
Uh,
um, yeah, and then I have Slammed, which is the um Colleen Hoover series, like one of the
oh, that
only
you
book by
mentioned.
her that I think is good.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember you mentioning those.
yeah, it's about slam poetry. Slam poetry makes me cringe.
Yeah. Are those all your high school?
I think I got through them all. Yeah,
Would you like to start us off on college?
I would.
Okay, go for it.
Um, college was definitely my romance era.
Yeah, it was.
Like that's when I discovered romance,
Yeah.
as in like romance books, because I'd been reading romance since I could read, you know. But that was just like an element. This is when I finally got into like Christina Lauren
Mhm.
and um like The Hating Game
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Those were the Unhoneymooners. Okay, I won't lie. My intro to romance was Colleen Hoover. I'm pretty sure. If I
That's
had
okay.
um
You and a lot of people.
yeah, literally. I remember reading It Ends With Us. That wasn't the first Colleen Hoover book that I read, but obviously because I read Slammed in high school. But there was I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I read Christina Lauren and I was done. I was like, "Unhoneymooners, we're all in." Then I was reading The Kiss Quotient. Did you ever read that? Oh my
Mm-mm.
gosh, so good. And um like the first Abby Jimenez series, The Friend Zone. and The Hating Game, like classic romances for me.
Mhm. Yeah. I remember it being your big romance era because we were not reading the same
We were
books.
not reading the same books
Yeah,
anymore.
not at all.
This was like junior year, senior year of college for me.
Mhm. Yeah, you would give me book recs and I just would not read them.
Yeah.
Uh, I primarily have always been, like, primarily fantasy, and that hasn't changed.
Mhm.
In college was my romance kind of awakening too, but I would say it was more senior year.
Yeah.
Um
It was definitely later in college for me. I was still reading like acotar and The Way of Kings and An Ember in the Ashes. Like that was my
mm,
early college phase. Still
yeah,
all fantasy.
yeah, yeah. So, guess, like, late college for both of us then.
Uh-huh.
Um, but my big college reads was the Raven Cycle series, um, which is YA, so it's interesting that I read it in college, but I loved them and I adore them. Six of Crows, Crescent City,
Crescent City was a big college
yeah,
read.
as it was coming out, which
Mhm.
was fun.
I was on spring break.
Yeah, I remember I was turning 16 and we were going to Broken Bow for my birthday slash Easter. And
You
I
were
like,
16 when that book came out?
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure because I remember like bringing it to Broken Bow and like reading it.
It came out in
Was I?
COVID.
No.
Yes, it came out March of 2020. I promise, because I was in Denver.
Then when did we go to Broken Bow? Was it for my 18th birthday?
It must have been.
Okay, I guess it was my 18th birthday. Because you're right, I do remember it being out during COVID. That wouldn't make sense though. Why would we go to Broken? Maybe I was just rereading it.
We went there for Easter
Yeah, but what year was that?
in 2020.
Oh, okay.
You were 18.
Why were we traveling?
We went to a cabin and we didn't
Oh,
go anywhere.
that's true.
Mhm.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I was like rereading it or something, but I remember reading it there and it was like so aesthetic.
Yeah.
Speaking of a good place to read a book, cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. We both read this in college, I'm pretty sure. The Fever series.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Those were so good.
This was, I feel like, especially good because it was kind of,
An older series.
yes, and
Yeah.
it was kind of like our paranormal
Urban
urban
fantasy.
fantasies.
Mhm.
So good.
Yeah.
I remember, like, one of my Goodreads review, I literally said, like, "This filled the hole in me that Sarah J. Maas left," or whatever.
Mhm.
And then senior year really was my romance takeoff, and Allie Hazelwood, is primarily my main author then, all
Mhm.
her stuff.
How many of the Christina Lauren books have you read?
I think only 3.
Okay.
I did read The Unhoneymooners and Love and Other Words in college.
Okay.
But that Honeymooners, I think I read Love and Other Words I read junior year too. So, yeah, junior, senior year is when I was really in.
There was just a lot of good romance that came out at that time,
Yeah,
you know?
but I was still primarily fantasy
Yeah. I mean,
still.
I would say that I'm like 60-40 now,
Hmm.
but this is what I have in my college era. Um, this is my fantasy side of my college era. Zodiac Academy.
Yep.
I started
Yep.
those. I started those when I was a junior, and so in 2020 is when I started them, I think, or
Wow.
even maybe in 2019. And it literally took me until this year to finish them because they were still writing them. But
That's
like,
true.
that's how long in my life I've been reading those books.
That's crazy.
They've been with me forever.
That's a very long time.
It's like 5 years, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I
But
guess that would be my college era too. But
yeah, they're so good.
that is a series that changed me, but Honestly, not in a good way.
They I remember just being, like, the only person who read them for so long. Like, I recommended them to Madison, but nobody was talking about them. And then I felt a little weird, like, recommending them to other people because of the bully romance,
Yeah.
you know? I
Yeah.
was like, "This is not for everybody, for sure."
Mm-hmm.
And in 2022, like, when I graduated, I was, in the thick of it, and I just kept trying to recommend them to people, and nobody cared.
I think you tried to recommend it to me because I had read that first chapter and I was not impressed at all.
Mhm.
And therefore I DNF'd it
Yeah.
until you made me read it again last year.
Yeah. You also tried to reread or to you tried to read the prequel too,
Yeah, and I
and you
did not
hated
like it.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, "I can't."
The writing
So,
was just so bad.
yeah. But I was in my Zodiac Academy times in college for sure. So good.
My big series of college was definitely the Fever series.
And, well, up until it went bad, um, from Blood and Ash,
Oh,
that came out in college too,
yeah.
and the first one was good.
Good,
It was
good.
so good. Like, I remember that came out and I was like, "Whoa, first of all, Jennifer L. Armentrout, where have you been?"
Yeah.
And then 2, I was like, "Wow, this is so good."
Mhm. It just went downhill.
Yeah, really fast, unfortunately.
Like, kinda, like, makes me think that, like I feel like that was the book that made me think, like, I love enemies to lovers. Like, I think that's a book where I'm like, "Yes,
Mhm.
this is my favorite."
For me, that was acotar.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I liked it, but I think that book, like, just did it.
Mhm.
It's such a good
It is
way.
a good enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah, because it was so, like, danger and innocence.
Yeah.
Like, the contrast was so big.
Yeah.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that they, like, literally have a threesome in the, like, 4th
Mhm.
book?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, that book went so downhill. What the
Did
hell?
you read that one?
No, but I
Oh,
I
okay,
heard
I
about it
did.
online.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah,
It honestly is not
insane.
what you think it is. I'll say that.
Well, no, I went and read it.
Oh, you did? That
Uh-huh.
one part?
Well, the intro up to it because people were like the wording was really weird of, like, him letting her know it was okay, that she was, like, being romantic with his friend,
Yeah.
and that's what the part I read.
I think the part after it is where it gets weird.
Oh. Ugh, whatever.
But I don't know. I thought I that first book was so good. And
So good.
Cameron, she said that she loves the prequel series. She said that the prequel series is so good.
Hmm,
The one about the gods or
yeah.
whatever. So I was like, maybe I'll give that series a try sometime. But
Mm. Sometimes it's so hard for me to read prequels.
mhm,
Like, for example, Divine Rivals, the prequel coming up, I'm kinda scared. I'm just like, "Ugh."
yeah. Sometimes you just want fresh material.
Yeah, because I just, like, don't know if I'll love it more than the series that I already read, you know?
Mhm. I don't really have that problem personally.
You're lucky. Anywho, next is post-grad. Everybody knows what I've been reading post-grad. I literally just graduated as soon as this podcast started.
Yeah, literally. I have like really been in my Brando Sando era.
Yeah, you have.
Like I've read all of the Way of Kings books now except for Wind and Truth. I just reread and finished Mistborn Era 1. Um like I've read all of the novellas for The Way of Kings, and I will continue to be in my Brandon Sanderson era and for the rest of the year because I really am trying to like get through his the whole Cosmere
Mhm.
in the next like 10 months,
Mhm.
Um but I will say I reread Mistborn. It is so good. Like I want you to read it so bad.
I know, I'm
I know that it's hard
trying.
to get into, but like oh my gosh. And it's crazy because it's one of the first his first like series or some of his first books. And they're still so good. Like his newer stuff, like the writing is better quality, but even then, I'm just like, you are elite.
Mm.
You are you are writing God. Like
Huh.
he's so talented.
Yeah. I mean, I've read Yumi, and yeah, the writing was just so flawless.
I can't wait to read that.
Oh
I'm
my
trying to
gosh,
go
it's
in
so
like the
good.
not the proper order, but like I'm trying to go in an order that makes sense to like get through the Cosmere, but
Yeah, Colby tells me, he's like, "Why did you even read that?" I'm like, "Well, my friend recommended it to me, and it was still really good.
yeah, and you
Even
didn't even
though,
know.
yeah, even though I don't get all the nuances of it, it was
Mhm.
still great. No regrets."
Yeah. Yeah. That's I mean,
Mm.
other than that, I still read the same stuff that I always do.
Yeah.
Romance and fantasy.
Yep.
I've dabbled in mystery now. We
Yes.
both have.
Yes.
I'm trying some sci-fi.
Yeah.
So,
We're expanding.
yeah.
Yeah. We were so we are let me try to like regroup and like go through it. We were really like paranormal, urban
Urban.
fantasy throughout like elementary and middle school. And then we got into like true fantasy in high school. And then college was our real romance awakening. Well, not awakening, but romance book, you know, rose up on the scale. And now we're kind of like dabbled in mystery thriller. The Naturals, we read that last
Mhm.
year. I've read more thriller since, more than you, I
I
think.
don't think I've read a thriller since now.
Yeah. Well, you tried Narc Acadia, but that was too scary.
I mean, I'll definitely read it for sure, but I took a pause
Yeah.
because I'm a scaredy cat.
It is a spooky book.
Yeah.
And now we're in sci-fi.
Yeah. We're evolving.
We are
Look
evolving.
at us go.
Yeah. I would love to expand my tastes. Like,
Yeah.
if I could get into sci-fi, that'd be super cool.
Mhm.
Like, I know I would like mystery thriller. It's not my first thing to pick up. But now I
Yeah,
have a
I feel like
lot.
I get scared a lot, you know?
Well, there's just other things I'm like, I want to read more.
Mhm.
Like, there's romance and fantasy on my TBR that I will pick up first before I pick up a new thriller.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have been through a very tumultuous,
We've been through a lot.
yeah, time. Like, so much growth.
So much that like we've experienced the same books, you know? We've
Yeah,
really read a lot of the same stuff.
we really have.
How much of that is just from me like recommending stuff to you though?
So much. I mean, there were some things I've picked up that I recommended to you or I found on my
Yeah, yeah,
own.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like Beautiful Creatures, I'm pretty sure I found on my own.
No.
No, Obsidian. Or it was like Feudlings or something. Like one of those other like paranormal series that I found on
There
my
might have
own.
been things that like I didn't necessarily recommend to you that you did find yourself,
Yeah.
but I kind of miss the way that I used to find books, you know?
I
I
can't
kind
even
of
remember how I did really. Kindle
I
recommendations?
would get Kindle recommendations or I would go on to Goodreads and like find one of my favorite books and then like look at the readers also enjoyed and I would just scroll through that for hours sometimes and like add
Really?
things to my want to read. I don't do that anymore and I kind of miss it.
Me
Like
too.
Book Talk makes it really easy to get book recommendations, which
Yeah.
is fine. Like sometimes it really is easy and sometimes it really is like spot on,
Yeah.
you know? But I kind of miss the days where I had to work for it,
Yeah.
you know?
And you picked it because like you found it and like
Yeah.
it hooked you.
Yeah.
Ah, like you did the work to find it, not just like it
Mhm.
landed in your lap.
Yeah, I was also reading like some book blurbs from some old like high school, middle school books and I was like, now I remember why like I used to find books and read them based off of book blurbs because it was just enough to like get me interested and download the book, but not enough to where I felt like I was spoiling, you know?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
like did a good job of hooking you without telling you the whole thing
Yeah,
in a
they did.
paragraph. Um, but yeah, I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
I was like, what would happen if I just completely ignored social media recommendations for a couple of months and only looked for books based off of what I could find? When was the last time I read a book that had less than 20,000 ratings?
When the night falls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could like find books organically like I used to, but unfortunately everything is the same now. Like, I don't know.
I feel like that's part of a reason why I've had to expand to other genres is because it's just
Yeah.
the same thing
Like
over and
everything
over.
is Fae or everything is an assassin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, clearly I'm just gonna go back and reread all these things now
No,
to
seriously,
feel
I
something.
want to be back with my urban fantasy books.
Ugh, I just want to be back in the age where I just had my Kindle with my Vera Bradley case on it, and
Yeah,
I would go to school and I would like finish a test and I'd be reading at my desk. Ugh,
those were the times.
those were the times.
And reading in the car, like on the way to practice.
Yes.
Ugh,
Yeah.
putting in my like headphones and just ignoring everybody,
Yeah.
staying up until 2 a.m. on a weeknight to finish a book.
Yes.
And then whenever dad would come upstairs and my light would be still on, I'd be like, pretend to be asleep.
I remember doing that, like hiding my Kindle under my pillow.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Staying up so late
Staying up
reading.
so late and
Yeah.
then being absolutely exhausted the next
At
day.
school. Yeah.
Yeah. Falling asleep in the car.
Uh-huh.
I still do that.
Reading on the way to school when dad would play his like talk radio.
Yeah.
Oh my
The ticket.
gosh. The ticket, yeah.
I know. Those were simpler times, truly.
Mhm. I want that feeling of reading again. So I think I'm still kind of getting out of my book slump. Like I'm reading more, but I'm being very slow.
Mhm.
Um, I wonder if I just like read like a book like Significance, if I would kind of like fall in love with reading all over again, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that if you read something that you loved, like nostalgia,
Mhm.
you'd be bound to kickstart it at least a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I that is why I reread so often because sometimes the thought of picking up a new book is so daunting.
Mhm.
You're like, "Ugh, I just don't wanna, like, learn a new world. I don't wanna meet all these new characters," or, like,
Mhm.
I don't wanna have to experience if I'm gonna love or hate this book. I just wanna
Yes.
go and reread something that I know I love.
Yeah. Don't want to be disappointed.
Mhm.
Like I hate being disappointed.
That's you know what I think kind of made me in my book slump? The Legends of Thesmar book.
Yeah. That is kind of what put me into my book slump.
You think so?
Yeah, it was like the end of 2023 and that was like the last book I read.
2024?
Yeah, sorry.
It
Wow.
was? It was really the last book you read in 2024?
No. Well, it may have been actually because I still have Fates and Furies or whatever on my like currently reading on
Yeah, yeah, I saw
Goodreads.
that. I really tried to push through book 2,
Yeah.
and I read I got, like, 75% through, and I was like, "I just can't anymore."
Yeah.
I'm being told to like this couple that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
Like, the author is just telling me to love them, not showing me that I should. I was like,
Mhm.
"They don't even know each other."
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, like, the magic, like, we're almost a full 2 books in and don't know anything about the
You
magic at
still
all.
don't understand the magic. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I didn't like them. I DNF'd. Can you believe it?
Says a lot for you.
But that's what, like, kinda what put me in my book slump. I was like, "Wow, I really invested a whole, like, 600 pages of this series only to not like it enough to continue."
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, the first one was, like, good enough,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And I also got really bored with how back and forth he was like, "Ugh, I can't be with her, but I'm going to be with her,
Yeah.
but I can't." I was like,
I'm
"Oh
her
my god."
mentor, but
I'm like, "Get
yeah.
over yourself.
Yeah.
Literally get over yourself."
Well,
But I think you should. I think you should go back and reread, like, Sweet Evil.
I'm gonna read it on my Kindle too, just to feel something. I've been reading on my phone a lot.
I have
Well,
been too.
actually, I have not been reading on my phone a lot lately. I've literally just been doing audiobooks. And then now I'm finally reading
And
Red
how's that going?
Rising. It's good. I
You
get
miss
to
it?
I do. And now I'm gonna read Significance on my Kindle tonight and feel something.
It it really works.
Yeah.
It really makes the heart pound.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This was a really nice episode. It just reminds me of like how much I love reading,
Mhm.
bro.
And how much I've always loved it.
I kind of feel senti.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, reading is just such an amazing hobby to have. People that don't read, I'm just like, you're missing
That's
out.
why we're here. I want
Yeah,
everybody to read.
me too.
It's one of the first things that I ask when I meet somebody. I'm like, "Do you like to read?"
Yeah. Or like when I see somebody that's reading something I've read, like for example, at work the other day, there was a girl that had a water bottle and she had like 30 glass stickers on it, and one of them was like "So Lorcan did," and I was like, I love that series. And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, like what are you reading now?" I'm like, "Red Rising, it's really good." We started talking about like books, like it's a conversation starter. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
It's such a good way to connect with
It
people.
really is, yeah.
And I love finding people who have read these books that we read when we were younger, like outside of the popular stuff like Hunger Games and Twilight, like people who have read Sweet Evil,
Yeah.
like people who have read Significance, like those are my roots. That is how I got here.
I've never met anyone else that's read
I
Significance.
haven't either.
If you're out there, let us know. Please. We'd love to chat about it.
Mhm.
You're the only person I know. This is why our sisterly bond with books is so strong,
Mhm.
because you would give me so many recommendations. We would read so many of the same things that like
Mhm.
we were reading together growing up.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's one of my favorite things.
yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Oh,
you. Oh, I love you
I love
too.
you. Oh, I love to read.
Me too.
It's just one of the best things in the world.
And I'd be like, yeah, my last name's Book Out. Like checking a book out of the library. I feel
Yeah.
so cool saying
I recently was at Barnes& and Noble. I feel like every episode I'm like, "I was just at Barnes& and Noble."
that.
But I was giving somebody my name or, like, my email for my rewards account, and they're like, "Is that really like, is that your name or is that just for fun?" I was like, "No, that's my name."
Yeah. Last year I was renewing or not renewing. I was getting a library card in Austin, and I'd like give him my full name and I was like, "Oh, Hannah Book Out." Like checking a book out of the library. He was like, "No way. Like your last name is actually Book Out?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, That's so cool."
I know.
He's like, "I'm jealous." And
I'm
he's a
jealous of
librarian.
myself. No, it's literally the perfect last name.
I don't know how I can get married and change it. You technically still have it.
My Social Security appointment is on May
Oh
19th.
my
I know. My passport expired.
god. Yeah.
And, like, I have to get a new passport because 'cause we're going to
Yeah.
Europe, so but here's my secret. I'm changing my middle name to Bookout,
Yeah.
so my name is still Madeline Bookout.
Yeah. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be Madeline Grace anymore.
I know.
Bye.
No one literally calls me, like, Madeline Grace Bookout Pitts, so
Oh, that's stupid that you can't keep both.
I know. It is what it is.
Like, Hispanic people have two last names,
Mhm.
although a lot of people in America mess that up. You know,
Yeah.
they forget the first last
Yeah.
name.
I don't honestly, I've kind of come to terms with it, like, it's in the podcast, I think us naming it "Check This Book Out" has helped a lot, like, it's still a part of who I am,
Yeah.
and at work, I don't think that I'll probably change my name at work because it's been 2 years since I got married and I never changed it, and
Mhm.
I think that would confuse people, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll probably just be, like, out in my personal life, um, but it is a huge part of me.
It is.
It is literally in my identity.
It is.
Books are 95% of my personality.
Yeah, same.
And I mean, I won't even say unfortunately. I love that about myself.
Same.
So,
I love being a reader.
I do too.
This was a really fun
This was a
episode.
really fun episode.
I'm glad we did
Me
this.
too. I want to go reread Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
M-
Leo. Oh,
Maybe I'll like aim to reread one book or series from each one of my like phases of book life
yeah.
in the next year or so.
Okay, wait, hold on, because this is something you wanted to talk about at the end of the podcast, didn't you? About us doing old TBR reads, checking
Yes.
them off our list.
Yeah.
Kind of in the spirit of spring cleaning, Madeline had this really good idea with our older brother about like it would be so fun to start a segment on this podcast where we not only like read new releases like Abby Jimenez's Say You'll Remember Me, but also older novels that,
Are new to
new to
us,
us,
but not necessarily new
new
books.
books, yeah. And like bringing those back into the spotlight
Yeah.
and also literally cleaning out our TBRs.
Yeah. Things that have been there for a long time. And maybe not even been there for a long time, but things that we're just hearing about now that are that we're becoming interested in at this stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think kind of like the way that we structure like episodes going forward, it will be like at least once a month we're going to do like taking something off of our TBR.
Mhm.
And then we'll have like a new release book deep dive as well.
Mhm.
So, and then just like fun episodes in the mix, but then we can like be talking about singular books more that we're like currently reading, and we get to take like knock things off our TBR but also get excited about books that are currently coming out in fantasy and
Mhm.
romance. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Me too.
Um that being said, I think that wraps up this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Perfectly. Yeah.
we thanks for joining us for episode 15. Um, I know. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We've made it this far.
Yeah.
It is May almost.
Wow.
I'm proud of us. Good to hear. But yeah, I'm Madeline Lookout.
And I'm Hannah Bookout, and this is the Check This Book Out podcast. And we're here every single Tuesday, so come and hang out with us. Next week, we will be talking about.
Red Rising by Pierce Brown, the first book. This hasn't been something that's been on my TBR for a long time. I would say that maybe in the past like year and a half is when I finally learned about it because not a sci-fi gal.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about it, about reading it for a couple of weeks, months now.
Mm-hmm.
We finally did it.
Yes,
I
we
finished
did.
book one.
I
Hannah's
am
almost done with book one.
82% in book one. So,
Yeah, we're gonna get into it next week.
yep.
Take this one off the TBR.
Yep.
And then just like transparency, we will probably do like one book each month up through July. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Depends on the pace we read.
yeah. But we're going to keep reading them and we're going to keep having episodes about them. So,
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to talk about it. My like book deep dive episodes are
are
my
my
favorite.
favorite. Yeah. I know. I kind of could just talk about a single book for 24 hours straight.
Yeah. It was hard to make this episode like quick
I
because
know.
I wanted to talk about every
Book.
book in detail. But anyway, guys, we will see y'all next Tuesday.
Give us a follow.
Yep.
Smash that church bell button.
Subscribe,
Subscribe.
like, comment,
Yeah.
and
We will see you next week.
yes.
If you haven't read Red Rising before then, maybe give it a try.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you about it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.